first conversations like with Avery and having him in your room?
Yeah, it's been awesome just getting to come back. We knew each other when I was here as a GA before. And so, one, rekindling some relationships, but two, just, obviously have been tuned into what K-State's done the last couple of years, been gone for 4 seasons. But being able to watch him grow from that Texas Tech game that I had turned on when he was a true freshman to now, and just being able to, kind of come together and think about how we're going to keep taking those steps forward. I think it's been awesome watching him grow as a leader on and off the field. He's incredibly smart, and so he wants to be challenged as well. And that's kind of the phase that we're in right now of, all right, how are we going to help you continue to improve day in and day out and find ways to really, truly go attack? That's going to be, our mantra is let's go attack every single day, every single rep. And so been a lot of fun getting going with him.
You mentioned taking steps forward. You've probably seen the tape and numbers. What are those steps forward?
Yeah, well, for him, I think it's taking the game as it comes. He's one of the most gifted players in the country, throwing the ball and running the football. And so for him, it's not being not trying to do too much, not being Superman, but at the end of the day also understanding that he has a unique skill set and he's dynamic. And so when the ball's in his hands, he can truly change the game every single play. And I think just having that confidence and understanding that he can trust his ability, but also trust the people around him and trust us as a staff that we're going to put him in those positions to go be elite, which is what he is.
How do you start from scratch with him, or do you look at past things? Do you take the past things when trying to teach him? Just where do you go from there?
Yeah, well, it's not start from scratch. It's improve, upon what he already has and what he already is. At this phase in his career, you're not going to take a ton of tweaks from a technical standpoint. For him, it's more, okay, let's look at those mistakes or those learning opportunities from years past and continue to grow. So it's finding little tweaks is more what it is, and just being able to again get him confident every single time the ball's in his hands.
Was it a tough or easy sell to convince him to come back for one more season, or was there any convincing at all?
Yeah, I mean, he obviously I didn't have to do a lot of selling. Coach Klein did it when he accepted the job, and for Avery and Coach Klein to come back together, it's a pretty special opportunity for both of them. And just watching how through the recruitment and through Avery's freshman year, and just I know that, Coach Klein goes to A&M and we're down there doing our thing, but there's still a mutual respect for what each other was doing. And we were tuned in, Coach Klein and I and Coach Buford and guys that were here at K-State, were talking every single week about what was happening in Manhattan. And so the opportunity for those guys to come back together, I think made a lot of sense for Avery, and is something that I think he's going to be really grateful for, and we're obviously grateful to have him because, again, I think he's the best in the country, and there's a lot of work to continue to prove that, but we got all the pieces aligned to be able to get that done.
How competitive is the rest of the guys at that position?
Well, first of all, got an excellent room of just young men, and been very impressed with the character from Jacob Knuth and being one of the older hats in the room to Blake Barnett and Dylan Duff. It's you asked about competitiveness. Those suckers are competitive, and they want to compete every single rep. We're in the middle of our conditioning phase right now, and it's been great watching those guys jump to the front of the line. And Avery's got a special skill set of being pretty fast, right? And so, but those other guys, they're not afraid of the competition. They want to jump in there and compete and try to push him to his limits. And so it's been great to watch. They're going to have to. They're going to be in a battle, and that's what we're trying to present. We're a new staff. We have clean slates, and so we want everybody to come in confident and fresh and ready to go compete and earn everything that they get.
What clicked between you and Colin at Northern Iowa to have you guys so interlocked ever since?
Yeah, you'd have to ask him. I still am trying to search for why a 19-year-old that had never played college football before walks into the room, and then he and I just become two peas in a pod. It's been awesome. Quickly he grew as my mentor and role model. He's the reason I got into coaching. I expressed, I think, early on that I wanted to get into coaching, and then I watched the hours and the struggle that coaches go through that first fall. And I remember talking to him about probably November, Colin, I don't think I can do this. And he's like, yes, you can. You're made for it. And so, again, I don't know what it was that I showed, but been very grateful to have had that year with him and then get the opportunity to come here and start as a coach for the first time with him. So, just very, very grateful for our relationship and how much he's been able to take care of me and carry me with him.
Can you even quantify what that means when he tells you, yes, you can, yes, you are?
No, you really can't, because you look at a guy like me. I mean, tell you a story. I have a memory that pops up every fall camp of myself and a couple of my buddies sitting in the dorms. Colin was the young coach on staff, and so he had dorm duty for like a week. And so he's sitting there late at night during fall camp, and we're sitting in the little lounge area. And I just took a quick picture because he was sitting there explaining his Heisman season and, the success that he'd had here. And everybody's asking him questions. It's just so cool for us to be able to pick his brain. And for me, being from Grand Island, Nebraska, not too far from here, Big 12 opponent for a couple of Colin's years, I was so familiar with what he did. And I had a couple of coaches in high school that were K-State alum, and so we're always in tune to what Colin Klein was doing. And the opportunity to, one, be coached by him and a guy like that was something that I couldn't even ask for, but just so grateful for. But then to have a guy like that believe in you, that can really give you a lot of confidence. And from a faith, family, and football perspective, he emulates everything that I aspire to be and try to be. And so, again, his desire to help me grow just means the absolute world.
What was that like early in his coaching career to where maybe you could have pointed out right then, it's just like that he would get to a head coaching position like this?
Yeah, well, first of all, you want to follow him. And the number one job and role of a head coach is to be able to get everybody in the entire program to believe in the path towards success. And even him sitting in there, I think 27 years old, a little bit younger than I am now, sitting in that room and being able to take over. He took over play calling, and everybody believed. I think that first game, he'll tell you probably the exact score and the exact amount of yards, but we were like in the 60s, I think, from a point standpoint. We killed Missouri State, his first game as a play caller. And it's like those opportunities for him to keep growing. But I just keep thinking about when you walk into that room, the first meeting, and he hands you a book on leadership. And we spend 5 minutes every meeting reading a book on leadership. And then he remembers your parents' names and remembers the goals that you have. It's like, okay, this guy's built to be a leader. This guy's built to get people to follow him. And so you could see it early on. And I've been very fortunate to have seen him as a quarterback coach and seen him as the offensive coordinator at Texas A&M. And so all of those experiences, you get to watch him continue to grow, but the one commonality in every phase that he's been in is people want to jump on ship with him because he's going to treat you right, and he's going to put your family first, as well as he'll show you that it's faith, family, football in that order. And that means a lot to me, and I think means a lot to a lot of people, and that's why he gets so many people that want to follow him.
When Avery goes on that field for the first time in a season opener, what's going to be running through your mind?
Well, first of all, catch the snap and operate the play. But no, it's going to be an exciting moment. Again, just because you think about all the relationships, that first 10 minutes or the 10 minutes before the game starts is going to be such a special time for everybody. I think I've been asked before, and I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about it. What are you looking forward to? I'm looking forward to watching Colin lead the team down the tunnel, right, and be able to come into the stadium. There's his name's in there, and where he's had so much success on the field and as a coach. But then also, I'm really looking forward to hearing Bill Snyder Family Stadium explode in cheers when Avery runs out there, because I know there's been a lot of anticipation for what product we're going to put on the field, and especially by September 5th, there's going to be a lot of people that are anxious about what we're going to be. And so it's going to be really exciting, but we're not going to shy away from the moment. We're ready for it, and we will be ready for it, and we're going to be confident that he's going to go out there and lead us to wins and lead us to success, because that's who he is, and again, he's one of the best in the country.
taken a step away from quarterbacks and then coached tight ends at A&M for a little bit. How do you think that helped you grow as a coach?
Man, it was the best thing that I've ever done. Now, I've coached every position on the offensive side of the football at 4 different schools. Been very grateful to have been asked to have some different responsibilities here and there, but the opportunity to coach tight ends in the SEC, where you're lining up every single play against some of these first-round draft picks at defensive end, was awesome for me to learn the technique, of those run blocking schemes, or to see box pictures, or to have to change the way that I think about a play of putting the entire offense into a position of success when it's not just the quarterback. And sometimes you kind of get into this box of, okay, you guys do your job. I'm gonna catch a snap and I'm gonna operate and dish the ball around. It made me think into a whole different realm of, there's a lot of small elements and details that goes into this game. So very, very grateful for those 2 years. My advice after doing it in those 2 years to young coaches trying to get going is coach the tight end room. You have to do it all, and you have to learn a lot, and you have to grow really, really fast because you're involved in every element. And I certainly see that in myself. So very grateful for Coach Klein giving me that chance to grow.